Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and oh boy, WOTC dropped a double whammy on us yesterday. I was traveling and couldn't cover it, sorry about that, but we're diving in today. First up, it's the October 16th, 2023 banned and restricted announcement. And that announcement is, there are no changes to announce for formats. And then they clarify with the explanation down below, in keeping with our goal of greater consistency across our formats, we are making no changes to any formats. I've got a question. I have traveled between Death Valley and the peak of Mount Everest, and I still have not found who asked. Who on October 16th came to you and asked, today specifically, are you going to ban something after you just said you're not going to ban anything until next August? I don't know where this came from. I don't know why they thought this was necessary. I don't know why they thought publishing this wouldn't piss people off. It absolutely did. It just reminds people of the last ban announcement where they unbanned one or two cards. I think it was two. Big mistake, by the way. And then they end the ban announcement with, we do have big news today, however, we're announcing new play boosters. Woo! And that's what this is really about. So, as is tradition, I didn't even skim this. What are play boosters? Written by Mark Rosewater. This gonna be good. The set booster and draft booster are being combined into a new type of booster. Oh, thank God. Okay, no joke. I didn't even read the first sentence. You and I both know it's way more fun if I don't. So, just reading the title, I was gonna say, we don't need another booster. We have too many of them. You might say, oh, there's 3 and that's already too many. There's like 7. You got what I just call the 1.1 packs. You've got the box toppers. You've got these weird like Walmart custom ones, which I think are the 1.1 packs where you have a 1.1 rarity chance or whatever. So you have a 10% chance of getting a second rare. And then you're supposed to be able to like, I don't know, shuffle 2 together. I don't know. Then you got jumpstart boosters, set boosters, collectors boosters, and draft boosters. And it's really hard to balance the stock and nobody opens their stupid products anymore. So really all those factors, yeah, they're contributing to, we need a little simplicity here. And wouldn't you know it, instead of just calling them booster packs when they created the set booster and the collector's booster, they renamed the normal booster to the draft booster, heavily confusing people by implying that you would draft with them. You could, but they were the standard booster. However, they couldn't call it a quote-unquote standard booster because that implies it's for the standard format, and you would have standard boosters for like Modern Masters or whatever. So the fact that they're going from 3 types down to 2, I don't immediately support this, but this isn't a train wreck. I guess that's how I'd put it. So this made me less angry than I thought. Maybe this is a good thing. Who knows? I don't know any of the details. Let's dive in. So the first section is how did play boosters come about. I don't care what Mark has to say justifying anything at this point. He is such an absolute gaslighting, lying piece of crap. I'm just going to skip it. I guess I'll read the bullet points. Problem number 1, set boosters eclipsed draft boosters. That's correct. They were a better value and better overall for like, what, 10-20% more money. Problem number 2, it causes inventory problems. Hey, I just mentioned that. It's almost like I'm smarter and faster, more experienced at this than Mark Rosewater. Except really, I just give a crap, and that's the difference. And I'm not a delusional lefty who listens to people on Twitter and then takes advice from them. Right now, if you just replaced Mark Rosewater at Wizards of the Coast with the trailer park manager from Trailer Park Boys, where he would just get absolutely wasted and then let the liquor do the card designing, we'd probably still get a better product from WOTC than anything Mark has designed. He's an egotistical, hypocritical liar who is so self-deluded he thinks he's still good for the company. Incorrect. So problem number 3, it began the abandonment of draft boosters. That's the same as number 1. Anyway, problem number 4, it causes confusion in the marketplace. Problem number 5, it makes some magic boosters less desirable. Aren't these all the same thing? Now I kind of do want to read it, but we all know I'm not going to. Problem number 6, geez, every booster buyer wasn't getting all the cool stuff. That's the point. You dangle it in front of them for more money. That's the whole business model. That's the part you're not supposed to say out loud, you idiot. So then he goes on to, okay, so he goes from problems to issues and starts back over to number 1. Issue number 1, there weren't enough cards. A set booster has 12 playable cards plus an art card and a token card. A draft booster is 15. And 15 is a really important number. I'm not going to get into why. You either know or you don't. And if you don't know, you probably don't care. Issue number 2, the colors weren't balanced because when set boosters first premiered, we did something called connected cards. Most people don't know this. They would pack those packs in like cells so that you could kind of play them together or kind of build like, I don't know, like open 6 of them have like a better sealed pool potentially with a little more synergy. Yeah, it makes sense, but anything that affects the randomness, I don't know. And the way they've been packing packs incorrectly, they can't even get the cards facing the right direction. I bet there were some broken patterns there. Just saying. Have I ever heard of a defective Keyforge pack? Just saying. There are really good optical sorting technologies, none of which are in use at the Texas printing facility. Issue number 3, the ratio of rarities would have to shift. If you haven't caught on, because set boosters was a more popular item, we decided to approach the problem by figuring out how to make a set booster playable. So these are the issues with the set booster if they just left that as is and just deleted the draft booster. So issue number 4 is they don't have any damn customers left. Issue number 4B is we would have to change how the sets are made. There you go, there's the key. He does specifically reference, quote, outside cards, or as I like to call them, mini-masters. It's the Mystic Archives from Strixhaven. It's the, Enchanting Tales or whatever from Wilds of Eldraine. It's just the bonus cards whose sole purpose is to take the place of a master set and try to entice people who aren't into standard into opening the packs, because you might get something really good and valuable. But it's the same problem as masters, where they're running out of anything worth putting in, so they're just doing like these crazy alternate arts and stuff, but they undercut that with Secret Lair. Do you see the problem? Do you see the corner they're painting themselves into? I feel like WOTC in the next 2 years is going to get some paint on their shoes, because it's Q4 and they're climbing the wall right now. And that paint is just made out of bad decisions. Greedy, short-sighted, self-serving, manipulative, just ridiculous, lie to the investors, misrepresent the numbers, don't project the long term, get the stock price now and then try to fix it later strategy, which is coming back to bite them. And it is going to be such a rough couple of years. Unless you want really, really cheap singles, because nobody's buying them and you can get cheap singles and play whatever you want. So actually, we're free of this standard nonsense, and Pro Play basically collapsed. They basically don't even have judges anymore. The game is dying, and now they got rid of draft boosters and set boosters. So let's just break it down. Do you guys want to know what it is? I'll throw it up on the screen here. All right, play booster. Draftable and up to 4 rares total. These are going to be expensive. There go the days of any kind of cheap packs. This is how alpha and beta started, in case you're not familiar. Multiple rares, I believe. Isn't that how it worked? So slots 1 through 6 are going to be the commons. Slot number 7 is going to be the list/common. Actually, let me back up. He does explain these. 1 through 6 are like in-set commons. So in the common/the list, 87.5%, so 7 times out of 8, this slot will be a 7th common. But 1/8 of the time, 12.5%, you will get a card from the list, which 1% of the time is something worth even looking up. And don't forget the 5x prevalence for the replacements for their, as like reparations for cards that were printed exclusively in Commander and Secret Lair sets, or products, whatever you want to call it. 5x prevalence, guys! The list is only like 1,400 cards, so 5x is like nothing if you know how to do math. So this is a pointless long shot to get a card that you don't care about, but okay. But wait, there's more. In the past, the list has mostly been reprints of older cards. It's been 100% that. Play boosters are going to tinker with what exactly can be on the list. Ooh. Will we even know? Is there even an active list anymore right now? For example, when play boosters premiere, the list will include what we call special guests. Oh yes, they're doing that again. 10 cards that are exciting reprints that... Wait, it's been mostly reprints, but now we're doing something different. Reprints... Oh boy, that we can give new art and will thematically tie to whatever set they are in. So they're going to shoehorn it in and just like reskin them. Okay, it's going to be like skinning a character in a game. That's... Wow. Okay, can't wait to see Fortnite Batman in my set. That'll be great. Let's see, what we do with the special guests will change set to set through the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. It will not have play boosters, but special guest is debuting with that set. Now, we've already seen those. That's why it should sound familiar. If it hasn't, you haven't watched enough of my videos. So you should already have some idea of what those look like. I'm not saying that he's saying that. Actually, we're both in agreement, which is shocking, actually. So in addition to the special guest, there will be 40 cards that are reprints without new art of those. So they're doing mini masters again. Great. 30 of them will be common or uncommon, so useless. 10 will be rare or mythic. This is down from the 300 cards that previous iterations of the list had. Okay, at one point the list was over 1,000. I know that for a fact. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, maybe they changed that lately. Here's your likelihood of getting items from this slot in the first play booster. So 87.5% a common from the main set, 9.38% a common or uncommon normal reprint from the list, so worthless unless it's like Popper, that's like $2. 1.56% a rare or mythic card normal reprint from the list, and 1.56% also, that's the remainder, a special guest card from the list. So think of like an ultra rare, I'm wearing an Indiana Jones outfit Liliana vest or something. And then people see it and like, oh, she's in the story? No, they just shoehorned her in, put her in a cosplay, and tried to sell it to people for too much money. You know, back when I asked people, what do you think they're going to do next after serialized cards? And I said maybe like cut up an esports, douchebag's jersey and include them in the middle of a card as a quote unquote relic, because they just copy everybody else and have new ideas. Nobody in the comment section really echoed that sentiment, but also nobody guessed this. Even I wouldn't have guessed this. This is insane. Ultra rare reprints, I could see it coming, but they already did that. Now there's doubling down and making them super duper masters, because mini masters is useless $2 cards. Wow. So slots 8 through 10 uncommon, there you go. Those are going to be in the set, or from the set, or whatever you want to call it. They better just not do these on Arena. I don't even see how they could, to be honest. Slot number 11 will be a rare / mythic. Okay. The slot appeared in both set and draft boosters. This is your guaranteed rare or mythic rare from the main set, just to be clear. It will be rare 6 out of 7 times and mythic 1 out of 7. Remember, he's only quoting from this next upcoming set because that number changes. I will just warn you, that number has changed a lot lately. So slot number 12 will be a land, and he says the slot will always hold a basic or common land from the main set. It will be traditional foil 20% of the time and non-foil 80% of the time. Okay, so like a separate foil shot in just that slot. That is actually a huge change, because every single pack was like foil or not in the foil slot, and then that would take the place of not a common, was it? Oh, I should know this. I think the token. I say correct me if I'm wrong, but it's YouTube. You know what? I don't care. But now this slot will have its own 1 in 5, so that's actually kind of neat. They curl, they're useless, and they're basic lands, who cares? And nobody's going to buy their products anymore. Other than that, so slot number 13 will be a non-foil wild card slot. Oh, what is this? Wild cards are on Arena. Okay, so they're recycling the term to confuse the hell out of people, or they just literally don't play Arena and forgot what their own product is called. I'm not sure which is funnier or more sad, or both. This card can be almost anything from the main set. It can have any rarity, and it has the possibility of being a booster fun variant, which is just another trim. Okay, that's showcase frame, borderless, extended, blah, 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 whatever. Trim, it's called a trim. I believe they use the term treatment, but they don't use it consistently, so trim. Everybody, it's trim. Let's all settle on that. All right, bang the gavel, done, it's trim. So special whoop-de-doo trim card, which are the only thing worth anything from a set, because they're usually worth double what the blah vanilla version of it is. Why? Because Commander players spend way too much money, but not very frequently, which is why they throw so much money at it. Slot number 14, traditional foil wild card. Ooh, this is just like the last slot, except that the card is guaranteed to be a traditional foil, so you will guaranteed have one curly boy in case you need something like slightly spoon-shaped to like scoop rice into like a dish or something. And then slot number 15, a guaranteed non-playable card, non-playable slot. This slot can have a variety of possibilities. Woo! It can be a token, a play aid. Oh, I guess that would be like stickers or punch-outs, brick counters, all that stuff. Oh boy, I'm not making that up. If you're new to Magic, they've done all that and more. An ad card. I can't believe they haven't found a more like PR-friendly term for that. Or an art card. That's kind of nice how they kept the art cards. Guess what? Art card 30% of the time, art card with signature 5% of the time. Okay, MTG Arena ad cards are usually an ad on both faces, but I would not have put that sentence in here. People don't want to hear the word ad even more often. Oh wait, if it's a token or play aid, it will often have an ad on the back. He just keeps going. Shut up about the ads. People hate advertisements. Haven't you heard of like word associations, connotations, and like PR speak and word replacements? Is that new to you after working in the corporate world for like 20 years, you idiot? I just imagine them being like, Mark wrote an article. Can you proofread it? And somebody's just sitting there like chain smoking and drinking at home on the webcam with like 3 masks on. And they're like, oh my God, sure. You know what? It's written by Mark. Yeah, this looks good. I hate my life. And then they just go back to bed and take some depression medicine. That's got to be the average WOTC employee at this point. And then they like wake up an hour later and just like surf job pages, like job listings. Anyway, if you haven't caught on, 65% token play aid ad card chance. So you're not even guaranteed a damn token. It's the worst of both worlds. Ad. And if there's a token, it might still have an ad. It might be like an aid card. And then since nobody wants those unless they do, we're also giving you an art card. So it's the worst of both worlds because that's only 35% of the chance. So no matter what you want, you're probably not going to get it. That is amazing how they mathematically figure out how to piss off everybody. So the overall differences from set boosters, plus 2 playable cards. I mean, they had to do that. He explained it. They didn't. That's not true, but that's the easier route, I guess I would say. No connected commons or uncommons. That's funny because 10 years back, I kept pulling them in patterns. Just saying. -1 non-foil wildcard. -1 non-playable object. Oh yeah, and the set booster, the token and art cards were separate in 2 slots. Okay. Only a 1 in 3 opportunity of an art card, and set boosters had a 100% chance. Those are all the differences. Even though those aren't all the differences. Oh, from set booster. Okay, so the differences from draft boosters, I was going to say. The potential to open up 4 rare or mythic cards, I guarantee you the odds of that are over like 1 in 100,000. I didn't do the math, but just ballpark, I'm coming up with over 1 million. -1 playable card. Okay, -3 commons. That they should have done that a long time ago, but I wanted the booster to be lighter and cheaper and you can fit more in a box. So I guess they did that, but not for any kind of reason I wanted them to. +1 non-foil wild card, +1 traditional foil wild card, and a 1 in 8 opportunity of getting a card from the list, which was no longer, or was not originally in the draft boosters ever, and then a roughly 1 in 3 opportunity of an art card, which did not appear in the draft boosters. So if these were the same price, but they eliminated MSRP, so I can't really use the term price because that is not a defined value at this point. But if they're around the same market value and going price online, sure. If they're going to try to charge even 25 more cents for this, no. But I haven't given WotC 1 single penny in over 2 years, so, yeah. Maybe I'm not their target demographic. I mean, as you can tell from my channel, I'm not that interested in Magic and haven't been playing for that long. And then he addresses the concerns, like, will the play boosters make draft less fun? R&D believes it will not. Well, R&D is the people responsible for printing collected companies, so whatever they think, I will just by default think the opposite, which coincidentally is true for most liberals too. So I mean, hey, a little crossover there. No, Joe Biden's doing fine. all right, okay, you think that, yep. If the play boosters have more rares and mythics rares on average, will that mean more bombs in limited formats? There will be more cards of a rare and mythic rare power level, but adapting to that, making sure players have more answers at lower rarities, some more control and sealed, oh my god, just kill me, is part of how R&D is adjusting our set designs. So if you read between lines there, or just extrapolate basically, they're going to put more control in to cater to draft and not care about what happens to standard constructed, the only format that people still play on Arena, according to their own graph that they released last week. Wow, this is short-sighted and clueless. This is amazingly in poor taste. So all of our play tests, which are always very successful and accurate, by the way, might I add, have been done with this in mind. And they've been very enjoyable. No, they haven't. Shut up. Okay, Google, are mushrooms legal in Seattle? Okay, the answer is somewhat. So, yeah, their playtesters probably did have a very enjoyable time doing this. Why are there only 14 playable cards? The change of the play booster gives us the ability to rethink how we put together a booster. Boosters have always been 15 cards, well, most of them anyway. Yes, it's not true. Because that's what Richard Garfield chose to do with Alpha, years before designing for Draft was even a thing. What? Alpha wasn't 15 cards. I am very sure of that. Unless I'm just way off there. It's not like I've ever opened or seen one and I didn't play back then. One of the reasons we went down in commons and set boosters was addressing a common complaint from the players that there were too many cards that didn't get used. Part of adapting to play boosters included making less unusable commons in draft, which made the 15th card less necessary. So he just got done explaining why it needs to be 15 cards. I just got done not explaining why that's not true, and then he circled back around to undercut himself and say I was right. So that was very nice of you, Mark. I appreciate that. Will playing in limited events cost more? Likely, yes. There you go. Play boosters match the cost of a set booster, not a draft booster. Yep, there you go. You're getting less for your money, less art cards, and less of what people wanted in the set booster for more, and then you get cards that aren't even from the set that confuse the hell out of new people in your standard product, and then you get the privilege of paying more for all that, whether you want it or not. Wonderful. So blah, 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 blah. Rare to mythic card ratio per dollar spent will be saying the same. Yeah, sure it will. So I could reread this whole article to absolutely clarify if both the set booster and the draft booster are going away and this is the new sole product. He heavily implied that but didn't outright state it. I assume that's what's going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a step in the right direction while also just completely taking left and running away at full speed. I don't even know what to think about this. It's aggressively neutral and a solid 5 out of 10 on their part, and they just overall made the game more expensive, which they should not be focusing on right now. I think that's what tips it just slightly in favor of this is stupid. Let me know what you think, though. I mean, to me, they improved set boosters to make them a better product and got rid of all the problems, and then just deleted draft boosters completely and kept this. Whatever. I won't be buying it anyway. I don't open or buy products on this channel anymore. So even if I get them for free, I don't. I haven't even sought that out from the local stores. So, hey, let me know what you think of all this. Lots of comments down in the comment section, I assume, and I'll talk to you guys next video.